We have people from all over the country. We have people from, I think, 20 different nations coming this weekend. It's finally here. This is the last of the trilogy. Honor, courage, and love. This is the week that America begins the healing process. This is the week that we stop progressing away from our founding ideals. This is the week that we reclaim our God-given right to help and love our fellow man. This is a week that will go down in history. Mark it. It will. This is the third and final of the restoring events that we have done. And I am so unbelievably optimistic. There has been a change in me recently. I don't know what it is exactly. In the days leading up to the first two events, and this event as well, I have been stressed, I've been worried. I mean, we had a lot of security issues in the last two events that we don't have this time because we're in Texas, but that's a different story. And I have been so afraid after each event. My gosh, I've aged. We have after each event, I have questioned, did I do enough? Did I say the right thing? Was I wrong on anything? And we have tried to serve honorably in the last 3 years. There is still a lot to do, but this time I feel much, much different. Last night, my family and I were at our faith's temple, and we were praying, as we do before each of the restoring events. And the anxieties, the stress, the worries, the concerns for the country were there, but it has changed. Last night in prayer with my wife by my side, I had a peace wash over me, a calm. And I was overwhelmed that it is done. It is finished. America is awake. Not everybody. There's still more to wake up, but we are on the right path. You've listened. I've listened. And we are, I have a chalkboard up in my office, and I asked everybody on the staff to write their feelings this week about the restoring events. Most of them have been to all three. And Pat wrote the best one. All that's left is now we win. And it's true. We just have to finish the game and see it out to the very end, leaving no stone unturned. I feel the same way about the election. I feel the American people know what they're dealing with now. When was the last time you saw this president have to explain himself over and over and over again? He usually gets a pass, but not this time. He's not getting a pass with the "you didn't build that, somebody else did" comment. That's the most ridiculous anti-American thing I've ever heard. He's still trying to explain it away, and the more he tries to backpedal, the deeper that he digs the hole, because he's not telling what he really is and what he really believes, and America can see through him. It's just about over for him. You just have to finish the game, and I know you will. But there are two things that I fear. One, that the election will be stolen, and we're going to address that tonight. And two, once President Romney takes office, is he establishment Republican? And if he's not, will the establishment Republican, the progressive Republicans, swoop in and swarm him? They'll make sure they'll try to kill off any shred of loyalties he's ever had to any ideas of small government. They will try. Look what they're doing now to Michelle Bachmann. She's merely asking, and this is amazing to me, how a radical terrorist organization like the Muslim Brotherhood can have so much influence in the White House and in Congress. She wants to put a stop to it. She wants background checks, and she's being attacked by Republicans like John McCain and John Boehner. It will happen to Mitt Romney as well, and that's why it's critical that you don't shut yourself off once the win happens in November, because it is even more important to make sure that he doesn't get eaten alive by the establishment. We also have to make sure he's not the establishment. We have to hold our commitment to individual liberty higher than the commitment to individuals. No political parties or politicians. The ideas. If we want to survive, we have to once again put the ideas, the big ideas, the principles, ahead of personality. It's really what we need our president to be saying, and that is the theme of tonight's Oval Office address. Across the globe, people marvel at America. They see our elections and the public debate that we have over who gets to sit at this desk, and they marvel. How is it possible, they have said for 2 centuries, how is it possible to criticize someone with so much power in public and not go to jail, not suffer? They look at America and they see our political arguments, our freedom of speech, our many civic organizations, our volunteer culture, our sense of anything is possible. And they say, I want to be like that. So they do the easy things. They dress like Americans. They listen to American music. They adopt American technology. And they think, this is as close as I can get to American freedom. In Africa, in Europe, in Asia, in the Middle East, when they want political revolution, political freedom, they take the things from our culture. They try to launch a revolution of their own. They imitate what they see, the latest in our culture, the same hair, the same fashion, but it's the technology that they're going to now. They're quick to use Facebook or Twitter to organize, to rebel. That's fine. But does it work? We have seen that the rebellious and so-called Arab Spring, which began in technology, Facebook and Twitter, ended in chaos and repression, and it will end in blood. In Egypt, we were told the kids in the street could tweet themselves to a liberal democracy. We told you on this program that is absolutely untrue. They could use Facebook and beat back the generals and the mullahs. Not true. You may remember the photos of the university kids with their Western clothes and their fancy computers pushing a revolution through the digital universe. But in Cairo's Tahrir Square, they were getting crushed by camels and wooden clubs, and now the kids are in fear for their lives. The generals they fought for can't protect them now from the mullahs. The Western garb now is going away, and here comes the hijab and the burqa. In the end, those who ended out on top, who hold power, will run Egypt now. And they don't use Twitter. They don't friend people on Facebook. No, they don't rely on new technology. They rely on the old technology because it's far more effective. It's far more durable. This kind of technology. Fear is their technology. Fear, intimidation, and threats. If necessary, much worse, beatings will start. Why not use a club on the people? The mullahs of the Muslim Brotherhood, they also have something else besides these weapons. They have a sense of history. They can draw on something deep. They knew that what runs in the veins of every Egyptian, a longing, not for the West, not for technology, but for freedom, and more importantly, for pride. You see, Egypt is a nation that has lost every war in the last century, a nation with an economy that has drifted to dependency. So the Muslim Brotherhood had a simple message: follow us, and you'll feel pride again. It happens this way with dictatorships every time. That's why America must guard itself. We've been kicked down into the street. Don't you just mindlessly follow somebody who gives you a good sense of America, and that includes me. The mullahs would say, follow us. You'll feel pride. And if you don't follow us, that's all right. There is another way. You see, the Muslim Brotherhood understands something that all the techno-savvy kids don't. If you want to win people over, you meet them where they live, where they work, where they pray. You want to start a revolution, you can start it on Twitter, but you don't win a revolution in 140 characters. You either do it with billy clubs or you do it with big ideas.